Hey, what's up you guys, Century Productions here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Marvel Select Wolverine figure. So here we got Wolverine. This is the Wolverine from his standalone movie last year. I recently got a hold of this guy within the last couple months and decided, why the hell not? You got X-Men Days of Future Past out, why not review one of the best Wolverine figures out there? And talk about one of the best Wolverine figures out there. I mean, this figure is, in my mind, what I consider a perfect Marvel Select. It's got the paint, and there's so much going on with the paint all the way down into the pants, and I mean, the way it's sculpted too is just amazing. They really outdid themselves on this one. It's just awesome. And then you get accessories on top of that, and the articulation. I know a lot of people always throw, articulation on Marvel Selects can be a little strange sometimes, but this one has a really, really nice flow to it. And I think they hit every single point of articulation that we would want in a Wolverine figure. It's an awesome figure. I really can't stop talking about how cool this figure is. So you can see he comes with this head right here. This isn't the one that's in the packaging. He doesn't come with the base, but he does come with a lot of accessories. So he comes with a sword and a bunch of claws. So this is the first head, of course, so when we zoom in on that head. And he does come with two other heads. This is the Rage Mode Wolverine head. Here's the sort of angry Wolverine head, or about to get really angry Wolverine head. I mean, you can see how nicely sculpted this is. They don't have any quality control issues as far as I'm concerned. Then we've got the docile Wolverine head right here. And once again, beautifully sculpted. They got the facial expression down perfectly. It has a perfect likeness of Hugh Jackman. It's just perfect. These head sculpts are perfect. Great job, Diamond Select. Alright, and then we go into the hands. So I want to show you guys this first set of hands. The bone claws, of course. So we've got these really nice bone claws. And I like how it comes with... so they each come in a set, comes with a pair of adamantium ones too, but this one is the bone claw set. So you can see you got the regular fist claws coming out. You can see how they are kind of perforated, and they've got a really nice texture to them. So I do like these bone claws right here, but the first set is this, or his left hand rather, it's got them like protruding out of his hands in this crazy gesture. You can, like the first time he noticed he had claws or something like that. I think this is a really cool touch, and this hand is designed really nicely, and there's lots of little details on there, and this is just really cool. So for the second set of hands, let me just take him under here. Voila, that was pretty quick. They're actually pretty hard to put on there, the hands. They're in there deep, so you gotta really tug on them and pull them out. But here we got the adamantium claws, which are sculpted very nicely, very similar to the first bone claw hand we saw there. So I really do like these hands. This is actually what I usually have him holding with the adamantium hands. Even though, if you guys do remember the movie, this is the first part where the bomb gets dropped on Hiroshima, I think. And he didn't have adamantium claws back then, so he only had the bone claws. So if you want to be movie accurate, you're going to go with the bone claws, but I still think he looks awesome with these adamantium claws. And then we got one more set of hands. Voila, here we go. We got his civilian hands right here, which are just have this holding some sort of sword gesture. And of course he does come with the sword, so of course you're going to want that sword in here. And you can see how nicely detailed this sword is. Let me see if it catches it on camera. Very nice. Do like it. Very simple, but still looks really nice. And those fit in his hands really well. You can just kind of slide that in there. And you can see there's enough of a handle to actually get the other hand in there too. And I usually have this problem when figures come with swords with the Marvel Legends, that you can't get both of their hands in there. I mean, look how badass that looks. He is easily accessible to the handle with both hands, which I think is a really nice feature. And on top of that, you got all this other articulation. I mean, it's a really solid figure. This is one of my favorite Marvel Select figures. So real quick, while I got him with this sword, take it easy, Wolverine, take it easy. I'm going to stack him up right here, and I want you guys to see what he looks like next to your normal 6-inch Marvel Legend, even though this is actually going to be the Series 6 Wolverine, which is actually a little bit smaller than your normal Marvel Legends. But I just wanted to see wanted to show you guys what he looks like compared to this guy. He does stand a lot taller, as you can tell. But this Wolverine did come with a sword, so I figure, why hell no? Might as well put him in there. They both came with swords, so why not? So I'll take him out of there, and then I'll throw in the Marvel Select Winter Soldier, which I just reviewed, so you guys should check that out. It should be in my recent videos, and they stand about the same height. So I do like that Marvel Select is keeping all of these figures in the same boat. With the same height, so that's good. But let's talk about this figure. The paint is just gorgeous. I love the paint on this figure. It's awesome. We got some depth in here. It looks like there's been some dry brushing of the flesh color. We've got these veins on the side of the arm, just like Wolverine in the movie. I mean, Wolverine's ripped, obviously, so he did a really good job with this paint. And it's really subtle in certain areas, but it really makes the skin tone and the muscle definition pop off of this figure. It's just really, it's brilliant. It really is brilliant. And then we go down into the pants right here, and we've got, looks like some, was it like light pink or something, that it's kind of giving it this dirty look to the pants, some orange on the pockets and everything. It just makes it look really grungy, like he's been, you know, captured by the Japanese army. I think they really captured that on this figure. I think it's really awesome. And then we go down into the boots, which have some paint application to them. It looks like there's a green, or maybe there's a light brown in there, but it really gives it this kind of, like, you know, worn look to it, which is really nice. And you can see how nicely sculpted these laces are. I mean, the whole figure is really nicely sculpted. You can tell that these pants are in the boots, and you can also see that they even continued some of the details on the pieces of articulation right there too. So I think overall it's a really solid sculpt, and it's an even better paint job. So yeah, let's go articulation, because I was really surprised by this figure. A huge range of motion for every piece, and like I said, it has this flow to it. It's just all the pieces work perfectly with each other. So it's really awesome. This head goes front and back, side to side. It's got the piece of articulation at the top of the bicep right there, which goes front and back, up and down. Piece of articulation right there. One piece of articulation at the elbow. And even though I'm glad they only went with the one piece, because it kind of hides the articulation, sometimes you don't want to clog up the figure with too many pieces of articulation, because you take away from the likeness of it. And, you know, they're obviously trying to go for Wolverine right here. So sometimes you just don't need to add that extra piece of articulation to still get the same, you know, movement out of it as you would if it was one piece. Go down into the hands, 360, piece of articulation right there. Really nice diaphragm joint right here. I do like that. No waist articulation. I'm not really too upset. That may be the only gripe I have with this figure, but I can see the way, just from the way it's sculpted, if they had added a piece of articulation at the waist, it would have been kind of awkward and would have off-balanced the figure a little bit. So I'm actually glad they didn't do that. Then we go down into the hips right here, and you can see there's tons of pieces of articulation. We got one piece right here, we got a piece right here, we got a piece right here. I mean, that's everything you need in the legs right there. And I judge a lot of the figures on how well the movement of the legs is. So I think this one's got a really nice range of motion. And like I was saying, you can see the paint application still coming through on those pieces of articulation, even hidden underneath when he's in a standing position. That's just awesome. This is a killer figure. It really is a killer figure. You can get him in every kind of pose. Of course, he is a Marvel Select, so you're going to need to be a little bit more careful with him than your average Marvel Legend or something like that. But still, I mean, you really get a chance to play around with him and really see how well his movement is. Awesome figure. Piece of articulation right at the boot. You can see there's a lot of restriction right there, but it still moves. And then, of course, we got a piece of articulation right there. A piece right there. And you can see there's tread on the bottom of his feet, and he even has a peg hole. I mean, talk about Marvel Select. Diamond Select's doing such a good job with these Marvel figures, and they just keep getting better and better and better at it. And I truly, truly love this figure. So many different options. There's so many different routes you can go with how you want to pose them, as well as the accessories on top of that. Just a really solid figure. Highly recommend you guys go out there and get one. And this is Century Productions, and until we meet again, peace.